Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And it's time for another daily dose of Dismal Disney. We're going to talk about Disney being under fire for putting an ad for Dying for Sex on their Disney Plus home screen.
Yes. So it's this new show they have, and it's definitely an adult show. And when people were logging in, now they were on their profiles. So there's some caveats to this, but it was appearing on the basic hub screen. Like if you have Disney Plus with Hulu, it was appearing on the hub screen where you go to pick where you want to go to. And that was that. And then if you had Hulu, I know for a fact it was showing up on the main screen because it showed up for me yesterday when I was looking for a ghost show. It appeared.
Okay. So do we know what this show's about?
Yeah, it's about some woman who has like terminal breast cancer. So she decides to ditch her husband of 15 years and sleep around because she wanted to know what all the different types of sex was like.
Oh, okay. Well, that sounds like a family-friendly show.
Yeah, it's definitely not family-friendly, but I do want to point out there are ways that you can block this, and we'll talk about that. But people are really not happy with Disney right now because of it.
Yeah. Well, once Libs of TikTok picks it up, it's gonna go viral. It's gonna. Oh, no, she's probably gonna go viral too because all the diseases she's gonna pick up. But I guess if you're already dying of cancer, you don't care.
Apparently.
As much. Yeah. So let's look at some of the responses here. This is the show. Right next to look at all those kid-friendly.
Yeah. No, I mean, okay. Here. To be fair, I do want to point out though, this is why you have children's profiles, because if you have your kids profile set up, it's not appearing. If you use it a kid's account, is not appearing on those accounts. But this is obviously the parental profile, or one without different parental controls involved.
Yeah, because we got Lilo and Stitch and like Coco Melon and Descendants and whatever.
Yeah, I mean, you're still not expecting. I mean, if that's what their normal stuff they watch are, you're probably not expecting that ad to pop up. See, because people were like in the comments are like, well, it's your fault as an adult because you were watching things to warrant this. It's like, no, this was appearing on people's accounts, even if they don't watch that kind of stuff. Because I can assure you, I do not watch that kind of stuff, but it was still appearing on the front Hulu screen, even though I watch like The Floor and Expedition X and ghost shows or alien shows. We do not watch shows like that at all. And it was appearing on the main screen.
No, they're gonna push whatever they want to push, right? And if it's a new show and they spend a lot of money on it and they know that you're over 18 and they're gonna try to get you to watch it. But yeah, there are definitely parental controls. I guess my thing is like I'm torn on this one because I mean I get people being upset about it, but I'm also like, what do you do with Netflix?
Right? Yeah, well, that's true.
The same,
but it's
the
Disney.
Same situation.
So people are expecting it if you're on Disney. And so they did that new thing where Disney and Hulu are integrated into one landing page. Before it was like, even Disney Plus though has shows on it that are like they had like the Daredevil and stuff I think is on there before too. So there were shows on there. So they've said about parental controls ever since they brought those shows over because there was a lot of backlash and it's really easy to set. You just put it on junior mode. But it's still Disney, so people just don't think that you're gonna open up your landing screen. They'll think, okay, if I'm going to my adult account on Hulu, maybe, but they're not expecting to go to the main landing screen page and have that pop up.
Yeah, but yeah, no, that's true. And this was always going to happen if they were going to intermingle the adult entertainment. That sounds bad. And they talked about that before too, that they were, going to do the R-rated stuff, that they were going to, do the FX stuff and just kind of throw it all.
This is an FX. Yes, the FX one.
Yeah. So this was always going to happen. The only way you could separate is to specifically have kind of like YouTube has the YouTube Kids version, like as a separate app. And just do it. And I think they still do that, but just do it as like a separate, like this is the Disney Kids. And that's it.
So what I'm going to tell you to do is you're going to want to go, if you go to parksandprincesses.net, I linked the directions to it. But if you want to make sure this doesn't happen and you have that landing screen, you're going to want to make sure you set things to junior mode, or when you have to pick a profile before it goes to, I think sometimes it goes to the landing screen and then you pick a profile, but make sure you have profiles for your children set up that are marked in junior mode. And then if you go to those to open it up in, it's not going to show that. Like it'll show kids stuff, but they were posting it across the board, whether or not you watch that kind of content or not. They were putting it on any content that wasn't parental controlled. They were putting it across the board as one of their landing ads.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Yeah, and there's a lot of different reactions here. I was going to watch Revenge of the Sith, and my 8-year-old saw this. I'm canceling Disney Plus today. Family friendly, my ass. Well, her ass might be family friendly too.
Well, I don't think it's family friendly. No.
But
some people are being dicks about it, and they're just like, well, it's your fault as an adult. And it's like, people don't understand that you need to have profile set up for the kids, because if your kids are watching it all the time and that's the content you guys are always watching and it's nothing that would be spicy,
right.
It doesn't mean that they're not going to shove this shit onto your main screen just because you haven't watched anything bad. They'll still do it, apparently.
Yeah, I agree with Black Sage D here. At this point, if you want to prevent your children from seeing obscene and objectionable content, then you as a parent need to be more proactive in screening their entertainment venues.
Yeah, Lorena Creole said something similar too, and I put her comment in the article.
Yeah, she's right. And I think same with YouTube, like, speaking of Disney and adult content and controversy and kids entertainment, the big fiasco with the Elsa and Spider-Man videos from a few years ago, because they were getting intermingled with the kids content. So the kids would watch like actual Frozen clips. And then the next thing you know, we'd have some, people from overseas dressed up like Spider-Man, Elsa pooping out golf balls or whatever crazy stuff. And that was getting kind of intermingled. But I'm also like, why are you just parking your kids in front of YouTube all day?
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's what the people are saying. If your kids are watching Disney Plus, it's just make sure it's really easy to do. Just make sure you set up a profile for them and make sure it's on junior mode. But again, like I said, if people are just watching this stuff anyway, like they're just on Disney Plus all the time, you're automatically going to assume, well, the algorithm's going to see what we watch and is just going to recommend us stuff that we would watch. And under normal circumstances, that would be the case, unless Disney wants to show something like Dying for Sex, and then it's going to appear.
Yeah.
Whether it doesn't mean it's because you did something.
Right. I mean, yeah. So, I'm like, the show's called Dying for Sex.
Yes. And that's what I noticed it yesterday on Hulu. We were going to pull up something. I forgot what I was watching. Oh, it was Expedition X. And I noticed on Hulu, they had this ad up on there. So
Expedition Sex.
No, it wasn't that kind of thing. That was a much different show, but, I just don't think people.
Mountains.
Yeah, no, I just don't think people are thinking, because you're thinking Disney, and you're thinking Disney's not going to post that because it's on the landing page. It's not like you went. Okay, it's like if there was a page that had a landing page that some company owned, and they had a very kid-friendly channel and then a very adult channel, and you're going to landing page. Well, as long as I don't pick either the kid or the adult, I'm not getting anything bad. If I was going to the adult-friendly page, I would assume I'd get this. If I was going to the kid-friendly page, I'd assume not. But on the landing page where you have to go to choose, I would think they wouldn't run this stuff on that. So I get where they're coming from, because you wouldn't think, because parents might put it on accidentally, and then the landing page is there. It was really dumb for Disney to run it on the landing page, if you ask me, but it's easy fix. Just make sure you set it to junior mode. It sucks for the parents because you have to put in a password every time, but ours has a parental. But then again, ours had parental controls on. Yeah,
we had different accounts because when the kids were younger.
Right, but I was on my account in Hulu, and the ad came up.
Yeah, well,
we had to type but I know, but I'm saying it was set up that you had to type in the parental control code. On my go on the computer, I have to type in the code. I don't know, it's weird, but it wasn't well thought out. Let's put it that way.
No, and this was always going to happen when they started to mix more adult content into the Disney stream. But I mean, this person here too, CPJ says, if you let your 6-year-old kid have an 18+ profile, whose fault is that really?
Yeah, you have to make sure your kids are on a children junior setting profile, and then just make sure you choose their profile. And then if you do that, they won't be able to access anything adult.
Just side note here, I saw this trending Predator Killer of Killers trailer. It's the Predator animated series. I misread that as Predator versus Attack of the Killer Tomatoes, and I got all excited.
Wait, really?
Yeah. I just glanced over. I just saw Predators, Killers. I thought it said tomatoes. I'm like, wait, Predator versus Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. That sounds awesome. No, it's just a cartoon. I don't care. Anyway.
It still would be awesome as a cartoon, but
it would be. It would be.
Anyway,
awesome.
That's what's going on.
So we're going to wrap this one up.
Yes.
All right, guys. So please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. We'll talk later.
Bye.